All right, welcome to this explainer. Today we're diving straight into the psychological frameworks that literally drive top-tier leadership. We're looking at the 9 mindsets of the most successful CEOs out there. But honestly, here's the best-kept secret. You absolutely do not need chief in your job title to use these. They're for anyone, and I mean anyone, who wants to lead at the absolute highest level. To make this super easy to digest, we've broken it down into 5 key pillars: the core of leadership, mastering your inner self, empowering your team, executing your strategy, and finally, your ultimate legacy. So let's jump right in. Part 1. The core of leadership. This is the absolute foundation. Think of it as your internal operating system. This quote sets the stakes right away. Your thoughts become your beliefs, and your beliefs become your reality. The mindsets we're unpacking today, you won't really find them in a standard business school textbook, but they are absolutely crucial because they dictate your culture, and ultimately, they drive your real-world results. And we know they work because these concepts weren't just dreamed up in some classroom. They were forged in the fire of real, messy, day-to-day leadership. By analyzing the habits of over 650 CEOs coached over the past 10 years, we're actually looking at the synthesized patterns of what genuinely works for the best of the best. So here is our complete, interconnected map of the 9 mindsets we're about to explore. It forms this beautiful, complete circle of leadership psychology. But, everything here actually revolves around one single central hub. And that hub is this: the hardest person you'll ever manage is yourself. It's true, right? Leadership is actually way less about managing other people and almost entirely rooted in how well you manage yourself. Why? Because your company or your team reflects exactly who you are. If you're running around being chaotic, well, your business is going to be chaotic. But if you're dialed in and focused, your team will be focused too. Which brings us to part 2, mastering your inner self. This is all about how you manage that ongoing internal dialogue. Mindset number 1, own everything, blame nothing. The buck stops entirely with you, period. No finger pointing. When a major client walks away, and let's be real, things will go wrong eventually, truly great leaders don't look around the room trying to find a convenient scapegoat. Instead, they look right in the mirror and ask, okay, what could I have done better here? Now, mindset number 2, feel the fear, but do it anyway. Look, every single CEO feels fear. It's completely unavoidable. But instead of letting it act like a giant red stop sign, you've got to use it as a spotlight. If something really scares you, like, say, having to totally pivot a dying product line, that's usually a massive flashing signal telling you exactly what needs your attention next. All of this inner work leads us right to mindset number 8, build yourself to build your business. Listen to this carefully. Your company simply cannot outgrow you because you are the ceiling, literally. This means you have to intentionally invest in your health, your relationships, and your own continuous growth, just to create the headroom for your business to expand beneath you. So, to wrap up this inner self piece, take complete, unconditional ownership. Lean into your fears so they direct your focus. And always remember that growing yourself isn't just a nice to have, it's a strict prerequisite to growing your business. All right, let's shift gears to part 3, empowering your team. This is where we talk about elevating the people around you. Mindset number 3, put your team's success way before your own. This creates an incredibly powerful dynamic where credit flows down and blame flows up. Think about it. If marketing absolutely knocks a campaign out of the park, they get all the applause. But if a product launch totally bombs, that's on you. Give the credit away freely when things go right, and be the first to absorb the blame when things go south. Now, to truly empower that team, you're going to need mindset number 5. Create a culture of brutal honesty. The real story must always be valued over a nice sugar-coated story. Bad news early beats good news too late every single time. Living in denial is basically like ignoring a massive leak in a submarine. It is absolutely going to sink you eventually. You have to confront reality instantly. And mindset number 7 bridges the gap between those tough realities and human empathy. Make hard choices with a soft heart. You can do really tough things, like letting go of someone who just isn't a good fit, without becoming this tough, callous person. You fire with compassion, and you say no with genuine kindness. So, recapping your team dynamic. Make their success your ultimate priority. Demand that brutal honesty we just talked about. And execute those inevitable tough decisions without ever losing your humanity. Moving right along to part 4, executing strategy. This is all about taking that grand vision and actually driving it forward. Mindset number 4 is this fascinating paradox: Think in decades, but act today. You basically have to balance a massive long-term vision with absolute immediate urgency. You got to make decisions for 10 years down the road, planning like a true visionary. But at the exact same time, you have to move incredibly fast and execute relentlessly on what matters today. It's this continuous high-wire balancing act between the distant horizon and your very next step. Well, how do you actually make those daily decisions? That brings us to mindset number 6. Stay curious, but be decisive. Great leaders never, ever stop asking why. They are relentless learners. But eventually, all that endless curiosity has to translate into action. Your expertise and your humility have to combine so you can step up and act with total clarity and confidence. Basically, you gather information humbly, and then boom, you strike decisively. Strategy execution really boils down to this wild duality, stretching your time horizon out to decades while simultaneously shrinking your action window to right this second. It's pairing endless humility with firm, confident decision-making. Finally, we arrive at part 5, your ultimate legacy. This is about creating value that deeply outlasts you. And that leads us to the 9th and final mindset, create value that outlasts you. Look, the goal here isn't chasing some temporary spotlight. It's about building a permanent foundation. Your absolute greatest legacy as a leader is building a robust system that thrives completely independent of you, long after you've stepped away. Because at the end of the day, everything points back to this core truth. Leadership isn't just about managing others. It's about becoming someone actually worth following. The entire architecture of your success rests squarely on the internal operating system you intentionally choose to cultivate. So I'll leave you with this. Which of these 9 mindsets resonates most deeply with you right now? Take a hard look at your own daily habits and decide, today, which specific mindset you need to adopt to finally break through your current ceiling. Because remember, your business can't outgrow you. So what are you going to change today? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.